I'm doing a series of videos on what are the major philosophical questions. And so today we're going to tackle what is happiness. So let's go. So in this video, we're going to try to answer the question, what is happiness? And it's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, maybe not. It's one of those questions that seems simple, but actually turns out to be pretty complicated. Well, let's start with the easy part. Happiness is feeling good. That sounds right. We normally associate happiness with feelings like contentment, satisfaction, cheerfulness, joy, amusement, excitement, etc. And when we see someone who appears to be happy, they usually are smiling, laughing, appear to be in good spirits, etc. So yes, seems like happiness is associated with feeling good. But there is more to it than that, because sometimes we feel good and we don't consider ourselves to be happy. For example, imagine someone who is addicted to drugs or alcohol. They might feel really good when they take their drugs or drink alcohol, but we wouldn't consider them to be happy. They may feel good, but their state of feeling good is not an overall positive state for them, because they need that drug or alcohol to feel just okay. So being happy is more than just feeling good. It also seems like to be considered happy, you have to be in a good state overall, not just temporarily feel good. So what about someone who is in a coma? They aren't doing anything. They aren't experiencing anything, so they can't be happy, right? But if we look at brain scans of people in comas, we find that many of them are actually in a state very similar to being in a dream state, and they actually experiencing things. In fact, some people report having incredibly vivid dreams while they're in a coma. So it seems like they are actually experiencing things even though they aren't awake. And if they're experiencing things, then they could potentially be happy. So does that mean that a person in a coma could be happy? It's hard to say. Okay, so maybe happiness is about being awake and alert and being able to experience things. After all, how could a plant be happy since it doesn't seem to be able to experience anything? But hold on, plants grow towards light and they grow away from danger. So they do seem to be able to experience things. And in fact, scientists have found that plants can feel pain. So maybe plants can be happy, but probably not. Maybe only animals can be happy. And then what about artificial intelligence? Suppose we create an AI that is super intelligent and it has all of the information on the internet at its disposal. Wouldn't it be able to figure out how to create the perfect paper clip? Imagine a world where it uses all of its intelligence and all of its resources to make the perfect paper clip. Then bam, it would have the perfect paper clip. Then it would be happy. So no, it seems like happiness cannot be about achieving your goals. Because if that were true, then the I would be happy once it created the perfect paper clip. But it would likely keep searching for ways to improve the paper clip. Actually, that brings us to a different theory of what happiness is. Maybe happiness is about striving to achieve your goals. This seems right because think about someone who doesn't have any goals. They don't seem to be motivated to do much of anything. And without goals, it seems impossible to know whether you've achieved something and therefore whether you're happy. But what about someone who is working towards a goal but never achieves it? Are they happy? Say someone who is trying to become a famous actor or musician or athlete but never quite gets to the big time. Are they happy? Seems unlikely. So no, happiness isn't just about striving to achieve your goals. Happiness must also be about achieving your goals. But what about the difference between intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation? You see, sometimes we strive to achieve our goals because we want to. We intrinsically want to achieve that goal. Other times we strive to achieve our goals because we have to. We extrinsically want to achieve that goal. For example, imagine that you are a doctor. Some doctors are driven by intrinsic motivation. They love medicine. They get a kick out of curing people's illnesses and helping them cope with their illnesses. Other doctors are more extrinsically motivated. They went to medical school because they felt like that's what they were supposed to do, or because they felt pressure from their parents or society. Those doctors are still achieving the same goals, but one group is doing it because they want to, and the other group is doing it because they have to. So maybe happiness is about achieving your goals that you want to achieve. But what if you don't have any goals that you want to achieve? What if you don't care about anything? Is it possible to be happy in that situation? Actually, it's quite common for people to be happy in that situation. These are the people who have given up on life, the nihilists. But how can they be happy when they've given up on life? Because for them, it doesn't matter what happens. They don't care. Nothing matters. And in a weird way, not caring about anything means that you're free. You don't have any goals that you have to achieve. You don't have anything that you have to do. So you can just live in the moment. You can just do whatever you feel like doing. And for a lot of people, that feels great. So it seems like being happy is about not caring about anything. No, seriously, imagine someone who is living paycheck to paycheck. They worry about money all the time. All they do is work and then sleep. They don't have any hobbies. They don't have any friends. They don't have anything that makes them happy. But then one day they lose their job. At first they're worried and scared because now they don't have any money coming in. But then they start to relax. They realize that they don't have to worry about money anymore. They don't have to work anymore. They don't have to do anything. And after a while, they start to enjoy their freedom. They hang out with old friends. They take up hobbies. They laugh. They have a good time. They're happy. So maybe happiness is about not caring about anything. Well, no, because the person who lost their job and became happy, they did actually care about something. They cared about their freedom, so happiness must be about caring about something. But then that raises the question, what should you care about? What should you be motivated by? The answer is anything you want. There's nothing that you absolutely have to care about. There is nothing that you absolutely have to be motivated by. You can choose to care about anything you want. You can choose to be motivated by anything you want. The reason that so many of us are unhappy is that we put too much pressure on ourselves. We have to be motivated by the right things. We have to pursue the right goals. And if we don't, then something is wrong with us. But that is ridiculous. Why must we be motivated by certain things and not others? Why must we care about certain things and not others? It is not like if you care about your weight or your appearance or playing video games that you are somehow less than human or that there is something wrong with you. If those things are important to you, then they're important to you and that's it. End of story. So what is happiness? Happiness is feeling good. It's being in a good state overall. It's feeling good and being in a good state overall because you have things that motivate you, because you have things that you care about. And it's feeling good and being in a good state overall because you don't have things that are constantly bothering you. It's not about achieving your goals or striving to achieve your goals. It's not about being in a coma or not being in a coma. It's not about being awake or not being awake. It's not about being an animal or not being an animal. It's not about being human or not being human. It's not about being a plant or not being a plant. It's not about being a machine or not being a machine. It's not about being an AI or not being an AI. It's none of those things. It's just feeling good and being in a good state overall. In fact, that is it. That is all there is to being happy.